Feather? Let.
In the right. Now bring that side down. More.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Clemens Broadcasting Network. We are underway, the Battle of 399 Part 2. The Clemens Buffaloes beat the Steele Knights in their last meeting over at Steele High School. The starting lineup for the Clemens Buffaloes tonight is number 5, Theo Grant, number 44, Isaac Spreen, number 12, CJ Bledsoe, number 14, Delano DeHughes, and number 24 of Jamir Dudley. A step back from Bo Cervantes for the Steele Knights as the Knights passing the ball early here in the ball game, as Steele trying to cut inside. The Clemens Buffaloes come into today's game 4-3 in district play. Meanwhile, the Steele Knights are 3-6 on the district. As out of bounds to go, 7:26 to go here in the first quarter. As the inbound pass will come in from the Steele Knights. As trying to find the inbound pass, poked away. Here comes Theo Grant back down the floor. He's got CJ Bledsoe behind him. Cuts past one, and Theo Grant gets the first 2 points of the ball game for the Clemens Buffaloes. Bringing the ball back up is Cervantes, wearing the number 1, out at the corner, being guarded by Jamir Dudley. Nearly turned the ball over. As Steele trying to get separation in the first minute of the ball game. This is the Clemens Buffaloes' first game since last Tuesday, or 2 Tuesdays ago, against the East Central Hornets. So it's been a while as Jamir Dudley grabs his first rebound of the game. As CJ Bledsoe will bring the ball up. Bledsoe designing the play. Theo Grant has been out for a little bit of time, so good to see him back tonight. Jamir Dudley gets out and poked away, and it'll be Clemens' possession. As last touched by what looks like number 21, Javon Tolliver, the freshman. So inbound pass inside to Theo Grant, as out of bounds off the Steele Knights. And Clemens will retain possession, as it will be Delano DeHughes pass the ball inbounds. As Delano will pass it into CJ Bledsoe. Bledsoe back out to Jamir Dudley. Dudley has DeHughes to his left, goes inside, blocked at the rim. Pass back down the floor. Delano DeHughes, the last man to beat before Cervantes, trying to get away. As has it pass back out to the top of the key. Slowing it down here, Loud Beer Gym here. As Clemens in their last 2 weeks of district play fires a 3, and the three-pointer is good for the Steele Knights. So on possession here, passes back to Isaac Spreen at the top of the key. Spreen back to Delano DeHughes. DeHughes trying to get separation. Theo Grant pops a 3. Good, knocks it down. Theo Grant with the first 5 points of the game. And both teams have connected from a three-pointer of their own. On possession here is number 7 for the Steele Knights. As the ball comes down the floor here, as Theo Grant with the layup is good. He's got 7 to start the game. And a timeout called early by the Steele Knights. Clemens 7. The Knights 3. We'll be right back here on the Clemens Broadcasting Network. Well, back here to Clemens Broadcasting Network. Theo Grant has scored the first 7 points early in this one. as they've missed his appearance as of lately. As passes it back out, three-pointer fired by the Knights. That one's off the mark, no good. Rebound grabbed by Isaac Spreen. As they hand the ball back off to Jamir Dudley. As Dudley will pass back to Theo Grant. Grant on possession. As passes back to CJ Bledsoe. Bledsoe's got Spreen to his left, and instead he passes it to Jamir Dudley to his right. Dudley gets out and poked away. It's a one-on-one. Theo Grant tries to block him at the rim, and instead he'll be slammed down by that of number 22, Camden Ross, the senior. As Ross has his first 2 points of the game. As Isaac Spreen has it, passes back out to Theo Grant. Grant on a one-on-one, passes down the floor to Jamir Dudley. He fires a three of his own, off the mark, no good. Rebound grabbed by number 22, Camden Ross. As I hand it back out to Bo Cervantes. Cervantes hands it off to number 23, Eric Brown Jr. As he'll be called for the travel, trying to go inside. As the 3 points go into Bo Cervantes' name early in the game, and Ross. As Jamir Dudley will bring the ball up the floor here, kicks it back out to CJ Bledsoe. Bledsoe on a one-on-one with Brown Jr. As bounce pass to Theo Grant. Grant on a one-on-one. As Grant dribbling between the legs, drives inside, step back jumper is good, knocks it down. Theo Grant with 9 in the first quarter. As he was guarded by Javon Tolliver, as he's made his appearance shown early, Theo Grant. Here comes Brown Jr., kicks it back out to Tolliver. Tolliver back to Brown Jr., passes inside to number 10 of Smith. And a charging foul called against the Steele Knights. So Clemens will get the ball back on offense as Jamir Dudley will pass the ball in to CJ Bledsoe. As Bledsoe has slowly walked the ball up the floor. As no rush from Bledsoe here. As Bledsoe drives inside, kicks it back to Theo Grant. Three-pointer on the way is off the mark, no good. As Clemens 1 for 3 to start the ball game from three-point land. As Bo Cervantes tried to drive inside against Delano DeHughes. Shaq Vergese will come into the game momentarily. As bounce pass inside. As trying to get separation, kicks it back out. Three-pointer on the way is off the mark and no good. Steele's 1 for 2. Here comes DeHughes to Grant. Grant goes inside, off the backboard, no good. Grant grabs his own miss, and he puts the ball in. Theo Grant with 11 in the first quarter. As on possession now, here is number 23, Eric Brown. Brown against CJ Bledsoe. 2:17 to go here in the first quarter. Clemens leads by 6. Going inside here, pull-up jumper by number 21, Javon Tolliver. Tolliver misses that one, and here comes Bledsoe back down the floor. Has got to find a way to pass it to Theo Grant. Bledsoe goes inside here, travel called. Actually, a jump ball signaled. CJ Bledsoe had no room to work with going inside. Substitution will be made here as Shaq Vergese will check into the ball game in exchange for number 24, Jamir Dudley, the sophomore. So Shaq Vergese will pass the ball inbounds. Steele makes a substitution here as number 23, Eric Brown Jr. will take a seat. In exchange, number 3, Trey Savala will check into the ball game. Shaq Vergese lobs it into Isaac Spreen. Theo Grant wide open. Off the mark, no good. As Clemens shooting 1 for 4 from beyond the arc here to start the first quarter. As Cervantes brings the ball up the floor, wearing that number 1 jersey, being guarded by Shaq Vergese. Tries to get separation from Vergese. Bounce pass on the way here, and a offensive foul called against the Steele Knights. So inbound pass here to Shaq Vergese. Vergese walking the ball up the floor, no hurry, with 1:40 to go here in the first quarter. CJ Bledsoe between the legs, pick and roll from Isaac Spreen. As Bledsoe has DeHughes open, Bledsoe drives inside. As a foul called here against number 22, Ross. So going to the free throw line for 2 shots will be number 12, CJ Bledsoe. As Bledsoe will be the first of the 2 teams to make an appearance out the line in this one. CJ Bledsoe is short of the iron. As checking into the ball game for the first time this season on varsity is number 50, Dominic Masteller. And also into the ball game number 22 of Marcus Gates. So Masteller will be in the backcourt after the second free throw. So Bledsoe makes his second. As it becomes the second Buffalo to score here on the night. So 1 for 2 here. 12-5 lead. Clemens up by 7. Cervantes against Vergese. Trying to get separation on the pivot foot. Steps back. Masteller applying the pressure. As back out at the top of the key. Trying to drive inside here. Goes to the ground. Pull-up jumper there by Tolliver is good. So Javon Tolliver converts on that one. It looks like a possible technical foul called against the Steele Knights. As Tolliver was able to convert there. It looked like a frustrated coach there. No and 1 for Tolliver. So let's see what the call is after the conversation with the ref here, as this is an extended conversation at the moment. As inbound pass will come in from CJ Bledsoe. As Bledsoe will have the inbound pass to Shaq Vergese. Less than a minute to go here in the first quarter. Clemens by 5. Bledsoe gets the screen from Masteller back to Theo Grant. Grant with 11 in the first quarter. 1 from Bledsoe. Masteller passes back out to Shaq Vergese. Fires a 3. Good! Shaq Vergese from beyond the arc is good. Shaq has his first points of the night, and here comes Cervantes trailing by 8. An energetic Clemens fan base so far here forces a turnover, and Clemens will get the ball back on offense. So the inbound pass will come in from C.J. Bledsoe to Shaq Vergese. 21 to go here in the first quarter. Bledsoe, no need to rush it on offense. As I hand it back out to Theo Grant. Grant head fake, goes inside, loses it here. And a travel called against number 5, Theo Grant, as he's made his presence shown here early in the ball game. So the inbound pass here from the Steele Knights into Bo Cervantes for number 22 of Camden Ross. Cervantes has a man to his right side, poked away by Marcus Gates. Here he comes down the floor, 1 man to beat. Layup is good at the buzzer. And the 2 points will count. Clemens by 10 to go to the end of the first quarter. Marcus Gates converts on that one. And at the end of 1, Clemens 17, Steele 7. We'll be right back here on the Clemens Broadcasting Network. Well, back here to Clemens Broadcasting Network. Clemens by 10. The inbound pass coming in from number 3, Trey Savala, to number 10, Ashari Smith. As on possession here is number 5, Nasir Hammonds. Hammonds against Chase Parker here. And it looks like a turnover here against Steele. As on the floor right now for the Clemens Buffaloes is Jamir Dudley, Shaq Vergese, Marcus Gates, Dominic Masteller, and number 30 Chase Parker, rounding out the starting 5 for quarter number 2. As the inbound pass coming from Jamir Dudley, the sophomore, to the senior Shaq Vergese. Vergese back out to Jamir Dudley. Dudley with a spin move. As Dudley trying to kick inside, pass out to Shaq Vergese, 3-pointer off the mark, no good. Rebound grabbed by the Steele Knights here, and a foul called against Chase Parker after the rebound. As Clemens shooting 2 for 6 from beyond the arc on the night. As Bo Cervantes will be the one to receive the inbound pass from number 10 of Smith. So Smith will pass the ball inbounds. So Cervantes back to Smith. Smith against Dudley. Chase Parker will apply the pressure here, nearly turned it over. As Jamir Dudley forces a jump ball and it'll be Clemens' possession. As Clemens playing a suffocating defense, especially with the help of the Clemens home fans here, as a bounce pass comes in to number 20, Shaq Vergese. Vergese will bring the ball up the floor as he's got Masteller to provide the pick and roll. Vergese inside to Masteller, wide open, gets a one to fake. Blocked on the way up here, no goaltend called. As a jump ball will give Steele back the ball on offense. Ball looked like it hit the glass. Before it was blocked, however, might have been touched on contact, so the block counts for the Steele Knights. And a minute has gone by here in the second quarter, as both teams without a score so far. Cervantes passes inside to number, as a layup is good there for number 22, Ross. As beautiful connection there for the Steele Knights. As that is Ross' second dunk of the night. Shaq Vergese back out to Jamir Dudley. Dudley back to Masteller. Nearly got it poked away. Passes over to the corner to Chase Parker. Stolen away by Smith. Down the floor to Cervantes. Layup is good. And a timeout called by Coach Bell and the Buffaloes. The Steele Knights start the quarter on a 4-0 run. We'll be right back here on the Clemens Broadcasting Network. One back here on the Clemens Broadcasting Network. 6-point lead for the Buffaloes. As Shaq Vergese nearly lost that one. Drives inside, back out to Chase Parker. 3-pointer is good. Nothing but net there from Chase Parker. He's got the first 3 points of the quarter. As Clemens 3 for 7 in the quarter. Pull-up jumper from Bo Cervantes is off the mark here. As a late whistle there will send number 22, Camden Ross, to the line. So the first free throw for Ross is off the mark. Second free throw for Ross is good. So Ross goes 1 for 2 from the line. He's got 5 points on the night here. As the inbound pass is coming for Jamir Dudley. As Dudley will have the inbound pass here to Shaq Vergis. Bo Cervantes applying the pressure. Clemens by 8 with 5:48 to go here in the second half. Coming up at halftime is Clemens Broadcasting Network halftime report. We'll give these stats and a preview to tomorrow's National Signing Day right here on the Clemens Broadcasting Network. As lots to look for there tomorrow as Chase Parker jumpers off the mark, no good. Rebound grabbed by number 5, Nasir Hammonds. As Hammonds trying to get separation from Marcus Gates. As Hammonds will have to pass back out to Bo Cervantes. Cervantes will pass inside to Hammonds. Hammonds jumpers off the mark, no good. Rebound grabbed by Marcus Gates. And here comes Gates back down the floor for the Buffaloes. Gates will slow it down. As a pass back out to Jamir Dudley. Dudley to Shaq Vergis. Three-pointer is off the mark, no good. As an air ball there as Marcus Gates tried to save that one. Out of bounds it would go. Substitution will be made here for the Clemens Buffaloes. Clemens shooting 3 for 8 from beyond the arc here in the first half. Meanwhile, the Steele Knights are 1 for 2. As Steele getting most of their points from inside the paint here. As Bo Cervantes with 5 points at the SC, looking to make a play here against CJ Bledsoe. Cervantes back out, three-pointer all the way is good, knocks it down. So three-pointer is three-pointer will be counted. So 5-point lead here for the Clemens Buffaloes. Clemens has led by 10 at one point in this one. Has 3 fouls against Clemens, 2 against the Steele Knights. But both of these teams playing a very physical brand of basketball here in the first half. As referees have let him play here. Theo Grant back into the ball game. As Jamir Dudley on possession. The 3 offensive firepower players for the Buffaloes in on the floor at the moment. CJ Bledsoe. Contact is drawn here and a travel called against Bledsoe. As the inbound pass is coming from the Steele Knights into number 1, Bo Cervantes. As Cervantes will dribble the ball up the floor. Clemens playing zone defense. With Theo Grant playing on the right side of the wing. Bounce pass here inside to Ross. Ross's layup is off the mark, no good. Jamir Dudley grabbed the rebound, then lost it. And then a foul called against Clemens Buffaloes. So the inbound pass coming up for the Steele Knights as inbound will come in from Nasir Hammonds. Hammonds will pass to Smith. Smith goes inside, draws contact. They put back by number 22 of Camden. Ross is good. He's got 7 on the night. And back up the floor will come the Clemens Buffaloes. Up by 3. Steele has cut down the lead here. The only 3 points in the quarter have come from Chase Parker from the wing earlier in the quarter. Dudley goes inside here as a travel is called against Dudley. So the inbound pass is coming from Smith to Cervantes. Cervantes bounce pass here goes back to Smith as the Steele Knights look to tie the game up. As Steele's shooting 2 for 3 from beyond the arc here in the ball game. As inside to Ross against Isaac Spreen. The layup is off the mark, no good. Spreen grabs the rebound. As a foul called against number 5, Nasir Hammonds. As Amari Little will have the inbound pass for Clemens. So Amari Little to Jamir Dudley, who will hand the ball back off to Little. Little the bounce pass to Dudley. As Dudley tries to find Grant, instead it'll be Isaac Spreen. Back out to Theo Grant from beyond the arc. Good, knocks it down. Theo Grant, another one. So Clemens' 6 points in the quarter have come off of three-pointers. One from Chase Parker and Theo Grant. Going inside here as Isaac Spreen is faked on that one. As the inbound pass is coming here as the senior Delano DeHughes will check into the ball game momentarily. As good fake there by Nasir Hammonds to get Spreen to jump. And now Marcus Gates will check into the ball game along with Delano DeHughes in exchange for Isaac Spreen and Chase Parker. Inbound pass here for the Steele Knights. On it is Cervantes. Cervantes against Little. As contact drawn here as Cervantes is able to draw contact here. So an inbound pass coming for the Steele Knights. Clemens by 6 with 2:33. Last time these two teams met, the Clemens Buffaloes beat the Knights by 10 over at Steele High School. As Clemens trying to get the season sweep and get closer to a playoff spot here as a pull-up jumper from Bo. Cervantes is good as he's got 7 on the night. As Amari Little will bring the ball back up the floor. We've yet to see a point here from Jamir Dudley as he's been all over the boards but without a point. Dudley passes back to Delano DeHughes at the wing. DeHughes tries to get separation, loses it here by number 22, Camden Ross. Ross drawing contact with Theo Grant. And Ross will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. He was 1 for 2 in his last appearance in the beginning of the second. So Camden Ross looks to add on here. First of 2 free throws from Camden Ross is on the way, is good. So Ross has 8, leading scorer for the Knights at the moment. And just ahead of Bo Cervantes with 7. Second free throw from Ross rattles in. So Ross goes 3 for 4 from the line in the quarter with 9 points. And Shaq Vergese will bring the ball up, up by 2. Looks over to the play design from Coach Bell. Steele playing a 3-2 zone. Theo Grant looking for someone to pass to. Instead, he'll get a pick and roll from Jamir Dudley. Grant tries to go inside here, nearly loses it. Goes to the ground here, and a travel called against Theo Grant as he goes to the floor. So the inbound pass here to Bo Cervantes. To Smith. Smith being guarded by Delano DeHughes. As DeHughes brings the ball back up. Passes back to Cervantes. Gates tries to steal that one. Bounce pass on the way. Back out to Smith. Smith to the wing, or to the corner. 3-pointers off the mark and no good. Trying to be kept alive and out of bounds it would go. That's only the second miss of the game from the Steele Knights as they're shooting 2 for 4, 50% here in the first half. As the inbound passes come in from Shaq Vergese. As Vergese will walk the ball up the floor here, trying to maintain the lead going into halftime. As once again, this is the first game in 2 weeks for the Buffaloes. As Vergese on it with a minute to play. Passes out to Jamir Dudley. Dudley on a one-on-one. Tries to go inside, kicks it out to Marcus Gates. Gates drives inside, gets separation. As Marcus Gates nearly was able to convert on that one as Christian Austin grabs the rebound. And here comes Cervantes. Layup is good and ties the game up for the first time since 0-0. Cervantes has 9 along with Camden Ross with 9. 23-23, Shaq Vergese on possession. 30 seconds to go, handoff to Theo Grant. Finds Shaq Vergese open again, and another turnover against the Clemens Buffaloes. As a second quarter filled with turnovers for the Buffaloes. That's the 8th on Clemens. As the inbound pass is coming from Smith to Cervantes. As Clemens playing a half-court press here. Smith will bring the ball up the floor against Delano DeHughes. Slowing down here, Cervantes with 12 to go as they look to get the lead going into halftime. Austin on possession, back out to Smith. Smith 4 to go. Austin has an opportunity and a charging foul called against the Steele Knights with 3.5 to go here in the half. So 3 seconds to go here. Clemens will have to bring the ball all the way up the floor. Steele has only fouled 4 times in this one, as they're going to need either a big pass down the floor here to Marcus Gates or Theo Grant here, as a blocking foul called against Camden Ross and the Knights, as that will put the Knights at 5 fouls on the game, as now they'll give the inbound pass at half court from Jamir Dudley. So the pass will come in from Jamir Dudley, as first Andrew Bailey will check into the ball game in exchange for Camden Ross to prevent him from getting into foul trouble in this one. So Dudley will have the inbound pass with 2 to go. Tries to find Theo Grant. As Dudley looks like he'll have another chance to pass the ball inbounds. As I would try to find Theo Grant here. Marcus Gates could cause some trouble inside the paint against Cervantes. As a pass coming in momentarily from Jamir Dudley. 2.5 to go here in the quarter. As Dudley will pass the ball in. Same play design as the last inbound pass. Vergis fires a 3 off the mark, no good. And that will end the first half. Clemens with 6 points in the second quarter allows the Knights to get back into this one. Score is 23-23 coming up at halftime. It's Clemens Broadcasting Network halftime report. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome to the Clemens Broadcasting Network halftime report. The Clemens Buffaloes lead are tied here 23-23 with the Steele Knights leading the way for the Buffaloes was Theo Grant with a solid 11-point first quarter. Had 3 points in the second, rounding out his total to 14 and a half. He leads the way for the Buffaloes ahead of the rest of Clemens with Shaq Fergis with 3, Chase Parker also with 3. Isaac Spreen with 3 rebounds and Jamir Dudley with 2 rebounds. Meanwhile, for the Steele Knights, Bo Cervantes with 9 and Ross with another 9. So those are the 2 leading scorers for the Steele Knights here in the first half, as Clemens just has to find a way to shut down Ross inside the paint. He was able to convert on a lot of layups as Cervantes was able to spread the floor at the mid-range game, as those will be the 2 players to watch here at the start of the second half here, as we're 35 seconds away from beginning of the second half here. The Clemens Buffaloes beat the Steele Knights by 10 in the last meeting over the Steele High School, but this one a lot tighter than last performance, as Clemens Buffaloes in their final 2 weeks of district play. The Lady Buffs already clinched their spot in the by-district playoffs, so now it's the boys' chance to get that final push for the playoffs. They play Judson and New Braunfels both at home next week. We'll have both of those games, so real big playoff quality games. A win here tonight would be a huge one. I believe they play Wagner on Friday, so a lot of playoff caliber matchups coming up, and it all starts tonight if the Buffaloes can find a way to get a win here. And meanwhile, tomorrow we'll have a National Signing Day right here on the Clemens Broadcasting Network. We start off tomorrow with wrestling with the first signee of the day. That will start at 8:50 a.m., so make sure to tune into that. Along with it was swim that they got that change out, so we will have the update. We have the schedule tomorrow morning, as the links are already out on our Twitter at SHS_CBN, so you can check the schedule for tomorrow. So coming up here, start of half number 2 in 30 seconds. We'll be right back. So we get right to action here. The inbound pass comes into number 5, Theo Grant. As on possession here, Grant back out to Bledsoe. Bledsoe fires a 3. Air ball there. As Clemens 4 for 11 from beyond the arc here on the evening. As our next sports broadcast will be on Friday night. That game is scheduled to cancellation though, as Allen poked away by C.J. Bledsoe. Back down the floor will come the Clemens Buffaloes. A nice play there by Theo Grant. He scored in all 3 quarters, as he's got 16 on the night. Clemens by 2. Bo Cervantes on it here. Passes back out to Smith. All the way down the floor here. Inside pass here to number 23. As that was number 23, Eric Brown Jr. As he's got his first 2 points of the night, as Jamir Dudley passes out to Isaac Spreen, back to C.J. Bledsoe. Clemens is currently number 2 in the district, as 3-pointer from Theo Grant is nothing but net. As Clemens number 2 in the district due to the COVID, right behind the Judson Rockets. So the game's made up. They got the 2 best teams in the district next week. He's going to need a win here as Ross goes inside against Isaac Spreen, draws contact here. Ross grabs his own miss, put back and 1. As Ross has 11 on the night and looks to add on. As the layup is off the mark, or the free throw is off the mark, as Bledsoe forces that one. A turnover, so Ross had a chance to tie the game up. And instead it'll be Clemens with the inbound pass here. Jamir Dudley will pass it into C.J. Bledsoe, but before that happens, a timeout called by the Steele head coach. We'll be right back here on the Clemens Broadcasting Network. One back here on the Clemens Broadcasting Network. Theo Grant gets the inbound pass here and a foul by Eric Brown Jr. As Grant, good job there selling the foul. As just under 2 minutes gone by here to start the third quarter. As Theo Grant has started the quarter red hot once again with 5. As he was quiet in the second as CJ Bledsoe tried to find Grant on the inbound pass here. As Bledsoe tried to go inside here, the put up was no good. And here comes Cervantes down the floor here. Bounce pass here to Smith as he's got 5 on the night. As here comes CJ Bledsoe back down the floor here. He's got Jamir Dudley. Dudley without a point on the night. As he had Theo Grant underneath here. Dudley puts the ball up. What a shot there by Jamir Dudley. Jamir Dudley gets his first 2 points of the night in style. Clemens takes the lead back 30-29. As Smith hands it out here. Bo Cervantes inside pass to Ross. Cervantes 3 is off the mark, no good. Steele now 2 for 5. Dudley on possession. Trying to get separation. Goes underneath the basket here. A blocking foul called against Eric Brown Jr. As the inbound pass would come in from number 14, Delano DeHughes. Steele only had 5 fouls in the first half. They're already up to 3 to start the second half. As the inbound pass from DeHughes to Dudley. Dudley goes inside here, loses it. Here comes Smith down the floor. Theo Grant trying to steal that one away, and the Steele Knights take the lead back. Smith has 7 on the evening. 31-30. Here comes Shaq Vergeest up the floor. Hands it off to Dudley on a slight toss. As Shaq Vergeest on possession. Clemens has had tight games all season. As tries to find Isaac Spreen, a bad pass there, and Bo Cervantes steals it away. Cervantes on it here. Bounce pass inside to number 21 of Tolliver. As Cervantes puts the ball up here. Travel called against Bo. And the inbound pass to come in for number 20, Shaq Vergeest. Vergeest tosses it into Delano DeHughes. Has no rush here from Shaq Vergeest. He's got Isaac Spreen inside at the top of the key. As he tries to find Theo Grant. Grant had his back turned to him. As Delano DeHughes, no room to work with. Hooks it around to Jamir Dudley. Goes inside underneath the basket. 3-pointer on the way is off the mark. No good. Rebound grabbed by Dudley. Dudley the put up off the mark. Second rebound. As Dudley will put the ball back up. And Dudley will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. So Jamir Dudley with 5 rebounds as he'll go to the free throw line to take back the lead for the Buffaloes. Clemens shooting 5 for 13 from beyond the arc. As Dudley looks to take the lead right back. Back and forth start of the third. As Dudley's first free throw is off the mark, no good. As hits back iron, substitution made for the Steele Knights. As Andrew Bailey will check into the ball game in exchange for number 22, Ross. Second free throw for Jamir Dudley is good. So Dudley has 3 in the third, tied up at 31 apiece. Inside pass underneath the basket here. Dudley tries to steal that one away. Foul and 1. Smith will go, actually that will be number 2, Andrew Bailey to the free throw line for 1 more shot. As Bailey looks to be the first and 1 converted on the night. As free throw on the way from Andrew Bailey is off the mark, no good, can't convert. The putback foul and 1 for number 21 of Tolliver. As now Tolliver will go to the line to convert here. Substitution made here as Isaac Spreen will be subbed out for Marcus Gates. Steele Grant and Jamir Dudley will switch positions. As Javon Tolliver, the freshman, looks to extend on the lead here. As the free throw is off the mark. No good, so Steele yet to make a free throw here in the third, as they're 0 for 3 to start the first couple minutes here of the third. Marcus Gates is the one who grabbed the rebound, tries to go inside, poked away, and he'll be fouled. So the inbound pass will come in for the Clemens Buffaloes. Jamir Dudley will have the inbound pass. So Marcus Gates on possession, hands it off to Shaq Vergese. Inside to Marcus. Marcus kicks it out to Delano. Pump fake, goes inside the arc. Jumpers off the mark, no good. Rebound grab by Andrew Bailey. Here comes Eric Brown Jr. Back out to Bailey. Three-pointer all the way is off the mark, no good. Rebound grabbed by Delano DeHughes. DeHughes to Vergese to Grant. Grant to Vergese. Vergese inside to Dudley, as Dudley will be fouled on the way up. So Jamir Dudley will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. He was 1 for 2 in his last appearance. So the first of 2 free throws coming up momentarily, as Clemens almost in the bonus, as Steele has been charged for 6 to start the half. As the first free throw is off for Dudley. As Jamir Dudley looks to get his 4th point of the quarter and of the game. So the free throw upcoming for Jamir Dudley. As the free throw is off the mark, no good. So Dudley 1 for 4 in the quarter. As Clemens can't capitalize at the line on this opportunity. Parker tried to force it away. Jumper is good from Bo Cervantes. Timeout called by Coach Bell and the Buffaloes. Clemens down by 6 with 2:36 to go here in the third quarter. We'll be right back here on the Clemens Broadcasting Network. Well, back here to the Clemens Broadcasting Network. Clemens trails by 6, as this is the biggest night lead of the ball game. As slow roller to Shaq Vergese, as they'll pick it up here as Bo Cervantes meets him at the top of the key. 2:33 to go here in the third. As fake handoff there by Shaq there, as a odd handoff there for Jamir Dudley inside to Marcus Gates. Layup is in. Nice pass there, the connection. As Marcus Gates has his first 2 points of the half. He's got 4 on the night. Chase Parker nearly stole that one away. 4-point lead here. Bo Cervantes, 3-pointer off the mark, no good. Theo Grant tips it off to Chase Parker. As underneath the basket, turns the ball over. Back down the floor for the Steele Knights here. Ross being met by Chase Parker and Jamir Dudley. As Chase Parker flips over there. As nice defense there by Dudley and Grant. So going to the free throw line for 2 shots will be the freshman number 21 of Tolliver. So Javon Tolliver at the line for 2 shots. So first of 2 for Javon Tolliver upcoming, as he was 0 for 1 in his last appearance, as can't convert here. As the struggles from the line continue, as Steele is 0 for 4 in the third at the line. Tolliver looks to convert here, off the mark, no good. Rebound grabbed by Theo Grant, as he'll hand it off to Shaq Vergeest. 1:50 to go here in the third quarter. Vergeest, layup is good. The Buffaloes needed to convert on that one, and Shaq Vergeest puts the layup in and brings the Buffaloes within 2. Now Parker coming for the full court press here. Theo Grant nearly forced a turnover. Inside pass here. Diving on that one, out of bounds off of the Steele offense. And Clemens will get the ball back on offense, as Chase Parker will have the inbound pass here for Clemens. As Parker will roll it in to Shaq Vergeest. 1:30 to go in the third. Vergeest to Dudley. Dudley's got Grant to his right side. As handed off to the playmaker here, Theo Grant tries to force contact here. Marcus Gates down the floor here. One to beat. As Marcus Gates called for the foul here. As going to the line for 2 shots is number 11, Chris Ashford. As Ashford is going to the free throw line for 2 shots after the shooting foul. As Ashford converts on that one. He's got his first point of the night. Tolliver will take a seat in exchange for number 3, Trey Savala. As Bo Cervantes will take a seat. As second free throw coming up for Ashford. As that one is off the mark, no good. Ashford goes 1 for 2 from the line. Steele on the night, or here in the third quarter, has not converted on free throw opportunities, as they've had a chance to blow this one wide open. Shaq Vergeest down by 3, passes to Parker. 3 on the way is off the mark, no good. Rebound grabbed by, inside pass. What a play to Chase Parker. Parker's got his first 2 points of the half. And a big 2 points there, as Parker makes up for his missed 3, and Clemens within 1. Inside pass here. A travel called against the Steele Knights of number 11, as Chris Ashford travels there, and an inbound pass will be coming up from number 24, Jamir Dudley. Dudley into Shaq Vergeest. On the ground here, Clemens trying to force a foul and get into the 1-on-1 situation. Theo Grant on possession here. As Grant tries to force a foul here. Blocked at the rim. And then another block. What a play by the Buffaloes. Here comes Theo Grant. Back down the floor. 17 to go here. Draws contact. And Theo Grant will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Chase Parker and Theo Grant combined for 2 blocks in a row. And go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Number 5, Theo Grant. So Theo Grant to take back the lead for the Buffaloes. As first of 2 on the way is off the mark, no good. As actually it was a 1-and-1. As Grant can't convert on that one, so he goes 0 for 1 from the line. As Landon Hughes will check in momentarily. So the inbound will be given to Steele, as Landon Hughes will check in on the dead ball. Ashford will have the inbound pass. Clemens down by 1, 15.2 to go here in the third. We're setting up for a good fourth quarter. As Ashford will have the inbound pass. As the pass it inbounds at number 5, Nashari Hammonds. Spin move by Hammonds to get away from Vergeest. Vergeest applying the pressure here, and a foul called against Shaq. As the inbound will come in from the Steele Knights. As the inbound pass will come in from Ashford. As Theo Grant will be subbed out for the end of the third quarter. As let's see what Hammonds can do. 3 to go. As timer expires, the jumper is good and it will count. So the 2 points will count here, and the Steele Knights will have a 3-point lead entering the fourth quarter. Steele 40, Clemens 37. We'll be right back here. Final game of the battle, 399. We'll be right back. We're back here to Clemens Broadcasting Network. We start the fourth quarter with Shaq Vergese at the free throw line due to a technical foul called against on the last shot of the quarter. Shaq Vergese converts on both. So Shaq will start quarter number 4 with 2 points and possession. As Shaq goes 0 for 2 or 2 for 2 to start quarter number 4. As Clemens down by 1. Shaq Vergese being guarded by Bo Cervantes. On the floor is Dudley, Vergese, Gates, DeHughes, and Parker. As it looks like they're saving Grant for the end of the fourth here. As Marcus Gates puts off a shot there. No foul called. As Bo Cervantes will bring the ball up the floor. Clemens in the bonus. As one-on-one here, trying to get inside, passes back out to Bo Cervantes against Chase Parker. He's falling to the ground here, out of bounds to go, and an inbound pass coming for the Clemens Buffaloes. As Cervantes slips up on that one, an inbound pass to come in for number 14, Delano DeHughes, the senior. As DeHughes will have the pass into Shaq Vergese. Vergese passes it in. As Vergese will slowly walk the ball up the floor. Steele playing a 3-2 zone. As a foul called against number 3 of Trey Savala. And going to the line for a 1-and-1 will be number 24, Jamir Dudley. As Dudley was 1 for 4 in the line in the third quarter. Needs to capitalize here to tie the game back up. First free throw is off the mark, no good. So Dudley goes 0 for 1. As the struggles from the line continue, he's 1 for 5 on the night. Chase Parker against Bo Cervantes. Trying to get separation here. Screen, jumper, good, knocks it down. As a 2-pointer call there for Bo Cervantes. As Bo Cervantes has 13 on the night. Clemens down by 3 with 6:54 to go in the fourth quarter. Inside pass to Marcus Gates. Back out to Delano Hughes. Pick and roll. Back out to Dudley. Dudley's got Vergese open in the corner. Three-pointer on the way is off the mark. No good. As rebound grabbed by the Steele Knights, and an inbound pass are coming for Steele. As Steele Grant will check back into the ball game. Clemens shooting 5 for 15. As that was a big three-pointer from Shaq that just missed. So 9 fouls against the Steele Knights. Clemens with 6. Clemens in the bonus. They'll be in the double bonus if Steele is called for another foul. And once again, make sure to join us tomorrow morning at 8:50 for National Signing Day, as we get ready to see several of the Clemens athletes transfer into their new chapter into college athletics. As feature athletes for the first program of 8:50 features Haven Harrison and Darwin Hall for wrestling, who made it to state. So some notable names there in the 8:50 time slot. So make sure to tune in tomorrow for that. As an inside pass here, Delano Hughes draws contact with number 2, Andrew Bailey. So Bailey will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. He was 0 for 1 in the third quarter. So 1-1 for Andrew Bailey to extend the lead to a 2-possession lead. Bailey's first free throw is good. So Bailey with 3 points on the night. As Amari Little checking the ball game in exchange for Delano Hughes. So second free throw upcoming for Bailey. As Bailey converts on both, goes 2 for 2 from the line with 4 points. An inbound pass comes into Shaq Vergese, down by 5. Vergese will walk it up here. As passes out to Theo Grant. Grant needs to be the playmaker at this point. Tries to get separation from Bailey. Grant on a one-on-one. As hands it off to Amari Little. Little turns the ball over. Here comes Brown Jr. down the floor. Bailey with Gates as he goes hard to the ground here. Jamir Dudley on the floor with it. As it looks like a jump ball here. Timeout called by Coach Bell and the Buffaloes. Steele starting to slip away here. Running out of time with 5:42 to go. We'll be back here on the Clemens Broadcasting Network. We're back here on the Clemens Broadcasting Network. The inbound pass coming in from Amari Little to Shaq Vergese. As a win from the Steele Knights this evening will split the season series, and the Clemens Buffaloes will fall to 500 in district play. As Dudley to Vergese. Back out to Dudley. Dudley with 3 points on the night here. Goes inside here. Foul called as shot will not be taken advantage of. So going to the free throw line for 2 shots will be number 24, Jamir Dudley. He's 1 for 5 in the second half. Has a big free throw appearance coming up here. The only points in the quarter have come from Shaq Vergese with 2. As the first free throw for Jamir Dudley is good. So Dudley makes the first, gets the Clemens Buffaloes within 4. Second free throw on the way for Dudley, rattles out. So 3-point score from the Buffaloes in the corner here as Marcus Gates nearly turned that one over. Passes on the floor here. Amari Little forces it away. Tries to find Jamir Dudley. A turnover. Back down the floor. Here comes Smith to Cervantes. Cervantes underneath the basket. Layup is short. Rebound grab by Theo Grant. He's just got one guy to beat. He's got plenty of time here. Slam it down. There it is. Theo Grant has scored in all 4 quarters. Clemens within 2 here off the fingertips. Smith tries to keep it alive. Theo Grant running over to that one. Passes back over to Cervantes. 4:44 to go here in the 4th quarter. Smith going inside against Theo Grant, and Smith converts on that one. He's got 9 on the ball game. 4:30 to go here in the 4th. Clemens trails by 4. Dudley on possession. He's got Amari Little. Little's at the wing. Back out to Shaq Vergeest. Vergeest hands it back out to Jamir Dudley. Dudley needs to get a shot off soon. Nearly lost it. Amari Little off the pick and roll. Back out to Dudley. Marcus Gates goes inside. Foul and 1! Going to the free throw line for one more is Marcus Gates. As Chase Parker and CJ Bledsoe check back into the ball game. As Gates to make it a 1-point lead. No team has converted on an and one opportunity tonight. Let's see if Marcus Gates can put an end to that one. The free throw is off the mark, no good. Rebound grab by Jamir Dudley. Kicks it back out to Theo Grant. 3-pointer is good! Knocks it down! Theo Grant takes the lead back for the Clemens Buffaloes. Clemens by 1. 3:46 to go in the 4th quarter. 1-on-1 at the top of the key against Chase Parker. Bo Cervantes nearly lost it. Going inside here, tries to put up a shot. Passes back out to the wing. Bo Cervantes against Parker. Parker applying the heavy pressure there on the clamps. Theo Grant comes out at the top of the key. 10 fouls against the Steele Knights. Clemens with 7. Bounces on the way here. Bailey goes inside. Layup is off the mark. No good. CJ Bledsoe grabs the rebound. Here come the Buffaloes back down the floor. Up by 1. Bledsoe pick and roll. Bounce pass to Parker. Parker to Dudley. Dudley 3-pointer on the way. Good. Knocks it down. Jamir Dudley converts on that one. Dudley with 4 in the 4th. Clemens by 4. 2:54 to go here in the 4th quarter. Clemens' last 2 possessions have been 3-pointers. Bo Cervantes against Chase Parker. Chris Brown Jr. on possession at the wing. Going inside here, puts up the shot there, and Smith is caught for a travel. And the inbound pass is coming for the Clemens Buffaloes. Good defense there by Clemens. As Jamir Dudley will have the inbound pass here. First, a timeout call by the Steele Knights. A loud beer gym. Clemens by 4. We'll be right back here on the Clemens Broadcasting Network. Well, back here to Clemens Broadcasting Network, Jamir Dudley will start off the inbound pass. He's got C.J. Bledsoe and Theo Grant. As Steele will apply the full court press here. They need to force a turnover here with time running out in the fourth. Here comes Jamir Dudley sprinting up the floor. Bounce pass to Marcus Gates underneath the basket. Reverse layup is off the mark, no good. Rebound grab by Chris Brown Jr. behind the back. Marcus Gates nearly stole that one away. Passes out, inside pass underneath the basket, turned over. Last touch by Steele, and an inbound pass to come in for the Clemens Buffaloes. As Jamir Dudley will have the inbound pass. 4-point lead. Bounce pass to C.J. Bledsoe. Bledsoe against Cervantes. Bounce pass back out to Theo Grant. Nearly turned it over was Chris Brown Jr. Back out to Jamir Dudley. Dudley at the top of the key with 2:09 to go in the fourth. Dudley back to C.J. Bledsoe. Bledsoe to Theo Grant. Inside to Dudley. Dudley to Bledsoe. Bledsoe beyond the arc. Dudley gets the man to miss. Back out to Parker. Wide open three is off the mark. No good. Rebound grab by Steele. Clemens shooting 7 for 18 from beyond the arc. Bo Cervantes. Bounce pass to Smith. Smith to Brown Jr. Good. Knocks it down. Chris Brown Jr. just made the biggest shot of the game as he's got 5. Steele's now 3 for 8 from beyond the arc. Marcus Gates has the ball up by 1. C.J. Bledsoe, 1:30, fourth quarter. Beer Gym, Shirts, Texas. Clemens trying to make a push for the playoffs. C.J. Bledsoe fouled to go to the free throw line for 2 shots. What a game here. C.J. Bledsoe to expand on the lead. Needs to convert on both to make it a 3-point lead. First of 2 is off the mark. As Bledsoe has 1 point on the night. 1 in the first quarter. And it came off of a free throw appearance when he went 1 for 2. As both teams have struggled from the free throw line tonight, C.J. Bledsoe is good. So Bledsoe converts on that one. Clemens by 2. 1:17 to go here. No rush from Smith. Smith is being guarded by number 12, C.J. Bledsoe. Smith goes all the way inside. Passes underneath. Last touched by C.J. Bledsoe. As the inbound pass or the inside pass was there to Ross. Camden Ross. So the inbound pass coming in from Smith. Smith inside. Back out to Bo Cervantes, being guarded by Chase Parker. 1-on-1, step back jumper is off the mark, no good. Rebound grabbed by the Steele Knights. Inside pass to Smith. Smith back out to Brown Jr. 3-pointer is off the mark, no good. Rebound grabbed by Theo Grant. A key rebound by Theo Grant as that one missed hard off the backboard. And now Theo Grant will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. It's probably one of the most consistent buffs at the line this season. As Theo Grant's first of 2 free throws coming up. 2-point lead. First is good for Theo as he's got 6 points here in the quarter. 11.5. Theo Grant's second free throw coming up by 3. Theo Grant without any effort. Theo Grant converts on them both. 53-49. As up the floor will come the Clemens Buffaloes. 44 to go here. Trying to get separation here. Goes inside as Brown Jr. He'll be fouled. And going for the line will be number 23, Eric Brown Jr. Steele struggled from the free throw line this ball game, but Brown Jr. is going to have to make these. 1-and-1 opportunity for Brown. Here we go, big one coming up. First free throw on the way. This one is off the mark. So actually Brown Jr. will get 2 free throws. The first one missed. As Chase Parker will be subbed out of the ball game in exchange for Marcus Gates. As Chris Brown Jr. with 5 on the night. Rattles in that one. 6 points on the night. Timeout, Steele. Clemens leads by 3. We'll be right back here on the Clemens Broadcasting Network. We're back here on the Clemens Broadcasting Network. 40.1 to go here. Thank you for tuning in, both Steele High School and Clemens fans. As Battle 399 Part 2. Clemens won the last meeting between these two, trying to get the season sweep. Here comes Shaq Vergese down the floor. Bounce pass to Theo Grant. Grant has 13 on the half. As foul called here, so going to the free throw line will be number 24, Jamir Dudley. He struggled from the line in this one. As Jamir Dudley is 2 for 7 from the free throw line in the second half. As just one would make it a 2-possession lead. Substitution would be made here as number 5, Nasir Hammonds would check into the ball game. As Jamir Dudley's first is 2 is good, nothing but net. So Dudley's got 5. Five in the fourth. As looking to make it 6. Jamir Dudley's free throw is good, so Dudley goes 3 for 5 from the line. 6 points. Clemens by 5 with 25 to go. Up the floor comes Smith. Smith's layup is good, knocks it in. As he's got 11 here. As coming over there is Bo Cervantes to foul Shaq Vergese, and now Vergese just has to go to the free throw line and make 1 of 2. As Vergese went 2 for 2 last time at the line. So Shaq Vergese walks all the way down the floor for the biggest free throws of the game. Clemens by 3. To go 2 games above 500 with a win here. Shaq Vergese's first free throw is off the mark. So Shaq misses the first, second upcoming. Shaq just needs to make 1. He's got 2 points in the quarter, and they came off the 2 free throws earlier in the quarter. Here we go. Shaq is off the mark, no good. Can't convert. Rebound grab by Vergese. No, it'll be Bo Cervantes all the way down the floor here. Down by 3. Bo Cervantes inside pass here, slamming down. As it'll be number 22, Kenan Ross. He's got 13. Clemens by 1. We'll be right back here on the Clemens Broadcasting Network. Well, back here on the Clemens Broadcasting Network, Clemens by 1, 55-54, 8.8 to go here in the fourth quarter. As Clemens is in the bonus plus. As Shaq Vergese hurried up and called a timeout there, nearly a 5-second violation as Dudley couldn't find the inbound pass here. As we'll take a quick 30-second timeout, Clemens by 1. Well, back here on the Clemens Broadcasting Network, 55-54. Jamir Dudley, Shaq Vergese, C.J. Bledsoe, Chase Parker, and Theo Grant in the ball game. As Clemens needs to make both as soon as they're fouled here. As let's see if Steele will try to force a turnover or if they'll just automatically foul here. So inbound pass to Shaq Vergese, passes down to Jamir Dudley, and Jamir Dudley will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. As Dudley was 2 for 2 last time he went to the free throw line. 3 for 5 in the fourth quarter. As here's what needs to happen right here. Jamir Dudley needs to make 1 of 2 in order to make it a 2-point lead. That prevents a layup from winning the game. However, he needs to make both in order to make it a 3-point lead and force a Steele 3-pointer. So let's see what happens here. Jamir Dudley's first is off the mark and no good. Dudley misses the first. Second upcoming for Dudley. As this one is off, no good. Rebound grab by Steele, 5 seconds to go. All the way down the floor. Jamir Dudley pokes it away out of bounds. 3.1 to go here in the fourth quarter. Steele will have the inbound pass here. Bo Cervantes got to be one to watch from beyond the arc. An inside pass to Ross has got to be the main one. Marcus Gates has to show his vertical here going inside. Here we go, the inbound pass here from the Steel Knights of Hammonds. Inside to Bo Cervantes, fires a 3. Off the mark, no good. Time expires, game over. Steele win. Clemens Buffaloes win, 55-54. The layup is off the mark from the Steel Knights, and Clemens escaped with a narrow victory in the Battle of 3-0-0-9. The layup there from number 5, Nasir Hammonds, was just right of the rim, and the Clemens Buffaloes slip away with the win tonight, 55-54, and now they are 2 games above 500. What a win from the Clemens Buffaloes. We'll be right back here in 30 seconds for the Clemens Broadcasting Network post-game report. Once again, Clemens 55, Steele 54. We'll be right back. Well, back here to the Clemens Broadcasting Network post-game report. What a game, 55-54. The Clemens Buffaloes escape off of the number 5 Nasir Hammonds miss, as he's been great all night. He scored, he didn't have any points tonight, but Smith led the way with 11. And Bo Cervantes with 13 for the Steel Knights. Meanwhile, for the Clemens Buffaloes, Theo Grant had 21. What a night. Tensions were high here as Jamir Dudley missed his final 2 free throws as the Steele side was there chirping at him. Missed the free throws, but luckily Dudley had a key poke away there with 3.3 seconds to go here, or 3.3 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, which forced Bo Cervantes to shoot a wing three-pointer that missed, and then that's where Nasir Hammonds grabbed the rebound, and then he missed the layup there at the last second. So final score once again, Clemens 55-54. Theo Grant led the way with 21 points. Jamir Dudley had 6 rebounds on the night. No double-doubles to report here for either team. As what a game here. Make sure, once again, to tune in tomorrow morning at 8:50 for Clemens National Signing Day, as that features girls soccer signees of Christabel Thompson and Haven Harrison, and then Darwin Hall for Clemens Wrestling. So those are the 3 signees for the 8:50. Then we have one during the fourth period time slot, which I believe is around 12 o'clock, which is Canada Buchanan. Then athletics featuring Max DiDomenico and Andrew Edwards. That is the 5th period. And then 8th period, which is 3:30, which will feature Clemens softball and golf and a few others of the Clemens athletics. So final score once again here, Clemens 55, Steele 54. As we sign off here, make sure to tune in tomorrow for National Signing Day at 8:50. Have a great night, and go Buffs.